Blessed enough to be graced with the presence of the Honourable Minister of Small Business Development, Ms. Lindiwe Zulu. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
You've done an incredible job addressing and doing plenaries this morning around small business development and enterprise development. What is your take on the current state of entrepreneurial development in the country right now?
I think it is growing. More and more people are getting to understand the very concept, what entrepreneurship is all about, what's the difference between entrepreneurship, small and medium enterprises and cooperatives, what it takes to be an entrepreneur and what then you need to do. When I started 3 years ago, there was even a bit of a confusion about SMMEs and entrepreneurship. I think right now there is a good sense of an understanding what that means. And as government, we are all out to support South African entrepreneurs, young, old, women, youth. We're very much excited about the fact that people are waking up to the realities of what entrepreneurship is all about.
Now, Global Entrepreneurship Week is incredibly important to those of us who are in the entrepreneurial development space. But why should the everyday South African entrepreneur be participating and paying attention to this particular week?
Entrepreneurs are people that find solutions, that resolve solutions of problems. Entrepreneurs are people who are looking for changing a way of doing things in the old way. They're always looking for something new, something that can be exciting. And so the month of November is Global Entrepreneurship Month. We would like as a department in future to also declare it as Entrepreneurship Month for South Africa, because you know there's June month, which is a month for youth. There's August, which is a month for women. But if we take November and say November is an entrepreneurship month, it addresses everybody, whether it's women, whether it's youth, whether it's old, whether it's young. So we have to take that process obviously through the right government channels, so that every year we will know that that will be a month of highlighting the importance of entrepreneurship, the challenges that are faced by entrepreneurs, the offers of support that exist, and of generally the networking and opening up the space for entrepreneurs themselves. So if the month is really adopted, I think it's going to be one of the most exciting, because that will be the month where people are going to be looking at what is it to be an entrepreneur, where do you start, where do you get support. But lastly, I also think it will be very helpful because we're looking at entrepreneurship to be something that's also spoken about in schools,
yes,
in high schools. Because we think that people must not become entrepreneurs simply because they have no job or they don't know where to go to.
Yes.
They must, that infusion of what entrepreneurship is should start at school, so that people, by the time they get to university, some might not even need to go to university. They might be finding ideas, they might be getting opportunities, they might be supported, and their ideas might be bright ideas.
Very true. That's a discussion that we have often with the youth, where we position entrepreneurship as one of the career options outside of getting a job. So instead of getting a job, let's create jobs.
Yeah.
Now, you spoke to Entrepreneurship Week being and Entrepreneurship Month being one of those inclusive months that allows people from all demographics to participate in activities that are beneficial to the South African development. Now, women still seem to face a challenge within the entrepreneurial space, with us earning up to 25% less of our entrepreneurial opportunities. What advice can you give to women around smashing through that glass ceiling? Because it's not just something that is in the hands of big business to solve for us.
Women emancipation and women empowerment is something that we have carried as the women of South Africa from even during the time of struggle. So as the women who participated in the struggle to make sure that the Constitution takes into consideration the role of women and the rights of women and gender parity and all that, I think that the women of today, especially the younger women, they need to carry that on. They can't say, well, we have a constitution, we have the... Fighting for women's rights is a global thing. There are countries that have been free so many years back, but South Africa has actually passed some of them in terms of ensuring that women's empowerment and women emancipation is something that is in the front. And we can see that with the number of women that are in key decision-making structures, whether it's in government, whether it's in the private sector, it never came for free.
Yes.
Women themselves had to fight, but more than just fighting for it, it's about mobilizing society to actually recognize the importance of bringing women on board in almost everything we do, because they are a huge resource which must not be ignored. by either government or private sector or anybody. So it's up to younger generation to continue the fight until we have the comfort that we are also being taken as just ordinary citizens, and the fact that you are a woman does not deprive you of opportunities and possibilities simply because you're a woman.
Thank you very, very much for that. If we could get one last parting shot from you, if you've got one piece of advice for aspiring entrepreneurs who are too scared to take that leap of faith into the entrepreneurial swimming pool, what would you give?
You will fail, you will get up. You will fail, you will get up. But one thing for sure is all the experience of falling is an experience that will enable you to stand up. So they need to be focused, work hard, sacrifice. That's one of the things that they need to do. They really need to sacrifice, but the opportunities to really bring something new should be something that drives entrepreneurship.
Well, there you have it, folks. So, words of wisdom from Honourable Minister Lindiwe Zulu. Thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.